I'm a young person, and I hear what we're talking about. We're not talking about James Corden, okay? Let's face some facts here. We're talking about another sort of Ellen type of person, and the chance that Ellen gets brought up in like a Generation Z conversation at all is like only to compare somebody's appearance to Ellen, you know? It's like you look at like an 8-year-old boy who's got the Ellen haircut, and then that 8-year-old boy looks like Ellen. James Corden, I don't think gets brought up in conversations for any reason. So everybody talks about Ellen, but nobody talks about Ellen if he was fat and British, which is James Corden. He exists. We're here to talk about James Corden today. You know, he's a threat to democracy. He's a threat to the all-you-can-eat buffet. His show comes on your TV, and all of a sudden you're scrambling to find the TV remote. You're like, yo, turn this shit off. And there's a good reason for that. He is not entertaining. I don't really think any of those late-night hosts are entertaining, but maybe that's because I'm not like 50 years old. You know, maybe it's because my dopamine has been fried by Instagram Reels, usually containing racial slurs. Not good, but yet again, I think I'd rather be having my brain thrown into a microwave by an Instagram algorithm than having my brain be thrown into a microwave by James fat fuck Corden. No, thank you. Anyway, we're here to talk about James Corden's fall off, the deserved downfall of James Corden.
James Corden is the living definition of never meet your idols, because even though he rose to stardom as a lovable comedian who earned the adoration of his fans by being genuinely grateful for the success it achieved, and then became one of the most popular and endearing late-night talk show hosts on US television.
Yo, this has 28 million subscribers, so in case you don't know, one of his biggest little series that he's done is called Carpool Karaoke, a revolutionary genre of content where someone records a video in a car singing. Yeah, except replace those people in the example with 2 celebrities and all of a sudden you got a hit. So yeah, he'd get in the car and then he'd have a famous person sing along to songs in the car and he would film it. Now, I guess these somehow got hundreds of millions of views, and it was surprising to me to know that James Corden must have blackmail on the celebrities that he fits in his car. I don't think anybody would do this willingly. I do think there's more children getting fucked by celebrities than we may know about, because a lot of celebrities are doing carpool karaoke with James Corden.
Television.
It really isn't lost on me what a privilege it is to be given a show like this, and I will really do my best not to let any of you down, truly.
His off-camera antics exposed him for who he truly was, an egotist who let fame go to his head, and an obnoxious bully who was horrible to anyone who couldn't advance his career.
I mean, like, let's be real though. I mean, like, if you're James Corden, where else is the fame gonna go? You know, it's gonna go to your head or your head. You know, the fame isn't going anywhere. Actually, I was gonna go for a cheap fat joke. I was gonna say maybe the fame went to his gut, but we're not gonna say that because that's inappropriate. Listen, James Corden, at the end of the day, I mean, look at this guy's face, right? Look at his face. Right now, you look at this face and you tell me if this is a face that you think becomes more or less evil after getting famous. You think this guy's gonna walk around like Mr. Beast after he gets a few mil? Nah, he's gonna walk around like Satan, bro.
And an obnoxious bully who was horrible to anyone who couldn't advance his career.
You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Which resulted in him not only destroying everything he'd built, but also having to flee the country.
Whoa.
I'm the internet
What?
anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be discussing the satisfying downfall of James Corden, how he gained the love and respect of his fans and peers through his gracious everyman persona, how that said persona crumbled along with his reputation, and how he didn't just destroy his own career, but also one of the longest running late night television shows in the US. But if you want to protect my channel from—
Yeah, that is a sad thing too. When you're a late night show host and then you become a laughingstock and people don't like you anymore, the entire show goes down the fucking tubes. So now you have the people who do your intro song out of a job, right? I don't know if he has an intro song, I'm just guessing. Maybe there's a guy on a saxophone playing the James Corden intro song. He's like, nah, 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 and here is James. And then, you know, he does whatever it is. That guy, unfortunately, the Here Is James guy doesn't have a job anymore. And that sucks, you know? I mean, listen, at the end of the day, James Corden, never liked him, never found him funny. I don't actually know what he did wrong. I'm kind of just blindly hating because I don't like the sort of genre of person that he is, which is like the sort of like late night talk show host, boomer slop creator. But simultaneously, if he were to lose his show or just to, you know, underperform in the ratings, that's going to fall back and that's going to negatively affect a lot of people that just, you know, like don't do anything, aren't really involved in the personal brand of things. You know, they're just there to add to the production value of the show. You know, you got the guy who does the lights, the guy who does the curtains, and they're fucked. So, I don't know, it's kind of sad to think about that.
Destruction.
Because those are the people who are ultimately going to be hurt the most when James Corden fucks up. Not James, it's going to be the people who are, you know, they don't have like a plan B or they don't have hundreds of millions of dollars to fall back on.
All you have to do is subscribe. So hit that red subscribe button and let's get on with the video. Contrary to popular belief, James Corden wasn't an industry plant that was simply thrown in front of US audiences out of nowhere. He actually worked his way up from modest beginnings in the UK, bouncing between very brief, often forgettable parts across the British entertainment scene, from the musical theatre production Martin Guerra to the 1997 sports drama film 20.
Yeah, bro,
theatre production.
Anyone else remember Martin Guerra by Babel and Schnagenbergen? What?
Martin Guerra to the 1997 sports drama film 24/7, and even a gig in the long-running TV soap opera Hollyoaks. He was trying to take whatever opportunities came his way, before finally landing a recurring role in the British drama Fat Friends.
Okay, that's fucked up. Listen, okay, hold on a second. The fact that you're gonna make this guy take a job in a show called Fat Friends because he's fat is fucked up, you know? And I also dislike what this does to somebody who's on the show, because now they're forced to stay fat for however long the show runs. If you put me on Fat Friends and I lose weight, I'm off the show that's called Fat Friends, and that sucks, you know? But I do think that the reality of the show business is making people be things that they don't want to be for extended periods of time, and people who don't want to be the thing that they're cast as sort of falling into like a crippling sort of manic spiral as they sort of depersonalize every single day and become insaniacs. But James Corden, luckily, I guess he turned out normal enough, or at least he's faking being neurotypical on this late night show because he has to appeal to like boomers and stuff.
Role in the British drama Fat Friends as Jamie Reimer. This gave him the chance to appear in front of a wider TV audience on a daily basis and gain more notoriety. But
was that a joke? A wider TV audience? Because the show's called Fat Friends. You think the people who watch it are also fat viewers? A wider audience?
A wider TV audience on a daily basis and gain more notoriety. But more importantly, it was on this show that he met and befriended his co-star Ruth Jones, who would later co-create the 2007 British sitcom Gavin and Stacey with him, where James Corden played the role of Smithy, the loud but endearing best friend to one of the main characters, Gavin.
I'm the creator of some of Bill O'Ricky's biggest jokes.
You are Bill O'Ricky's biggest joke.
Oh, shut it, you slag.
No, you shut it, you slag.
You slag.
You slag.
You slag.
You slag.
No, you slag. You
So, we're watching gay porn right now. This is what this is, by the way.
slag. You slag. Shut it, you slag. I have large cotton chips, 2 batter sausage, chicken and mushroom pie, can of shandy bass, and cherry tango.
This ended up becoming Corden's breakout role, not just because of his own performances, but also because of the show's immense popularity. You see, Gavin and Stacey showcased the romance between a British man and a Welsh woman as the centerpiece, making it an instant hit among the Welsh audience, who had historically been underrepresented in the British entertainment industry till that point.
Is that all it takes to appease you pigs? Oh, this person is of my culture, and she dated somebody. Let's give this show a #1 rating. It's so sad, man. I feel like people, I mean, I don't know, certain people from certain countries, they really do, like, if you just do the bare minimum, you know? Just mention their fucking country or something, and people will be, like, ecstatic, you know? I could just be like, Serbia. And there's gonna be people in the comments of this video that are like, holy shit, he said Serbia! He looked at the camera and said Serbia! I've never been to Serbia. I don't know what you guys do there, what even your country's about, but I said your name, and that's gonna be enough for a lot of people, you know? So the Welsh people who were, like, super happy about, watching this Stacey and Smithy show or whatever, those people, I hope, are at least realizing they deserve more.
Result, it became a cultural phenomenon in Wales specifically, with over half of Wales' population watching the Christmas Day finale.
Yeah.
Corden himself went on to win the Best Comedy Performance Award at the 2008 BAFTAs for his role in the sitcom, which ended up opening the door to several other opportunities, allowing him to host the Brit Awards multiple times, regularly feature on multiple panel shows, and even co-host a charity drive for the UK charity telethon Comic Relief, firmly establishing himself.
This guy's an angel. I take it all back, okay? He's a great guy. I never said anything mean about him.
As an up-and-coming celebrity in Britain. But the real reason he gained the audience's admiration was for his grateful, gentle persona, which always managed to show
So why is he in heaven right now? Why'd you give him angel wings? I don't like that.
itself on camera. However, off camera, this was when Corden's real-life personality started creeping its way to the surface. Corden even admitted to letting his early fame go to his head in an interview in 2015.
Okay, realistically though, why is that even a crime? Again, I don't like that we're holding people to an Listen, I'll take 5 people in my audience right now, and if I asked you guys honestly, if I gave you like $1 million, would you change? Anybody saying no is lying, okay? I don't believe this stuff. So listen, what, the fame got to his head? So what, is that a crime?
Stating, it's a really mind-altering time, that first flash of fame, and you start to perhaps think you're a bit more of a dude than you really are. A sentiment that probably a lot of celebrities can relate to. Fortunately, for him, his Gavin and Stacey co-star, Rob Brydon, was quick in trying to get him back on the right track, telling him directly, look, this is a bit awkward to say, but I'm just hearing these things about you, and you've got to know that the way you behave has an effect on people. Even his family stepped in, with his sister giving him a hard reality check by saying, James, don't be a dickhead. Unfortunately for Corden, this realization
It's the most British sentence ever produced. Literally, your own sister James, listen, don't be a dickhead. Message received.
Was too little, too late. His career had been in a freefall for many years before this point, and partly because he had hit the limits of talent before he had even stepped foot in the big leagues. Starting with the comedy sketch show he created in 2009 alongside another one of his Gavin and Stacey co-stars, Matthew Horn, titled Horn and Corden. This turned out to be an absolute flop, with The Telegraph even calling it, quote, about as funny as credit default swaps.
Okay, that's actually hilarious. CDOs, that's hilarious. That's like, what the fuck? Why would that even be the thing you fucking select? It's about as funny as credit default swaps. The randomness of this as the word choice is hilarious.
Resulting in people re-evaluating Corden's acting ability at the height of his popularity in the UK. The show was eventually cancelled after just 1 season. However, that wasn't the end of Corden's
I'll go binge that right now. Shit, bro, I ain't doing nothing today.
failures, because his next project, a movie titled
Oh, it's bad when the cover itself lets you know that this movie belongs in a dumpster. Fuck me. Lesbian vampire killers. What is the joke that he just turns ladies into lesbians by like his appearance or something? He's just like, ladies, you want some of this Corden? And they're like, no, we like girls. Is that what this is?
Vampire Killers would suffer the same fate when it absolutely bombed at both the box office and in the critics' room, with a horrible 28% rating on Rotten Tomatoes and a 5.1.
That's not that bad. 28%, that's 28% more than like most movies get.
1 out of 10 on IMDb. That said, his box office failures could still be explained away as a relatively young actor trying to find his way in the industry. However, the same can't be said for what happened when he was hosting the 2010 Glamour Woman of the Year Awards, when an event.
Why is he hosting a Woman of the Year Awards? Why is James Corden hosting a... Why is James Corden hosting Woman of the Year Awards? Why? I don't know.
It's designed to celebrate the women of the entertainment industry turned ugly, and briefly disrupted the illusion of Corden's kind, lovable persona.
Oh, no.
It all started when Sir Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier himself, called Corden out for looking uninterested during the award ceremony.
I want to speak to James here. It's James, isn't it? When the presenters are up here and when the recipients are receiving their awards, don't stand at the back of the stage with your hands in your pockets, looking around as though you wished you were anywhere but here.
Oh, you couldn't be more wrong, sir. You couldn't be more wrong.
Now, he had a chance here to take the criticism with grace and even improve his image after the disaster of his most recent projects. But Corden's ego got in the way and he lashed out, responding to the criticism with a rude comment of his own.
Oh, genuinely. And if it looked like that, I'm so sorry. But when you come up and present an award, just get on with it. There we go.
And the situation only escalated from there, with Corden having another outburst because of Sir Stuart taking a dig at his weight.
Sorry, I'm waiting for the punchline. Go on. No, seriously, go on.
Okay.
No, go on. You can see my belly, and we can all see you dying right now. Let's go for it. Here we go.
Later on in the show, Zoe Saldana, who
What the fuck? Why do they got so much beef? I don't know. This is not friendly banter. This is the kind of stuff you say to somebody before you slime them out. Listen, James Corden, I might have to take your side on this one because this guy is he's just sort of trying to be a fucking performative male at the women's show. He's like, you're standing there with your hands in your pockets. What the fuck does that even mean? Your hands, they can go in your pockets. They can also not go in your pockets. And now you're gonna talk about me being fat? I'll kill you. You know, it's like, you don't get to talk to me that way because you are presuming that I'm like not interested in this women's award show, which I'm also there with you. Like, what? I don't understand this. So listen, I don't think James Corden hates women, and I certainly don't think that if he did hate women, that the most revealing way we would learn this would be because his hands are in his fucking pocket, okay? That's ridiculous. And yeah, I don't know. This guy just seems like he was trying to start shit. I'm gonna be honest. I think he wanted some sort of aura for calling out the guy who was perceived to be like disrespecting women, but no, fuck this guy. Maybe not. Maybe I got this all wrong. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I've seen here.
later on in the show, Zoe Saldana, who had won Best Actress.
Wasn't this the girl from the transgender Netflix movie? Fucking what was it called? The worst movie ever produced. What was it called? Please someone tell me in the comments.
Of the year for her role in Avatar, tried to defuse the situation with humor.
For whatever it's worth, I like your belly, so.
But that didn't stop the pair from overshadowing her moment with their heated argument in the background.
But I would pay to see.
Yeah, they're very much beefing in the background. This is not a good look.
Sir Patrick Stewart dying.
Why don't they just like get them off stage?
On stage any day, so.
Now, granted, some people still believe Sir Stuart was in the wrong for calling Corden out publicly when he could have just had
that's what I think. I don't think that's appropriate.
a quiet word with him backstage. That said, the manner in which Corden lashed out was still distasteful and
Well, I don't know. I think if someone, if someone tries to take shots at you, you gotta respond accordingly.
unnecessary.
Accordingly? Corden?
And ended up showing a side of him that was uncharismatic, rather than the lovable Smithy that the UK audience had grown to love.
Yes.
However, despite his outburst, Corden would go on to get even bigger opportunities, mostly on name recognition, the most famous of which has to be his role as the host of A League of Their Own, a sports-based comedy talk show consisting of some of the biggest TV and sports stars in the UK. He also started getting more roles in musical theatre plays like One Man, Two Governors, which seemed like a step in the right direction.
I've got 2 jobs. How did that happen? Oh, you got to concentrate, ain't ya? With 2 jobs. I mean, I can do it as long as I don't get confused. But I do get confused.
With the
Yeah, that wasn't English.
Show even making its way to Broadway and even earning him a Tony Award for Best Actor in 2012. Despite his slightly problematic behavior in the past, it seemed like Corden had a clear path ahead of him in the British entertainment industry. However, just a couple of years later, Corden took a gamble on himself, deciding to grab an opportunity that changed everything for him. In 2014, the host of CBS's The Late Late Show, Craig Ferguson, announced that he was stepping away permanently.
Bro, I've never heard of this guy in my life. Craig Ferguson. Was he goated? Any old heads in my comment section want to tell me how cool this guy was or wasn't?
This decision came as quite a shock to longtime fans of the show, especially when they learned that his replacement would be none other than James Corden. Naturally, this announcement was met with plenty of confusion. After all, most of the US audience had never been exposed to James Corden's work. On top of that, the man he was replacing wasn't just any other talk show host. He was an icon. You see, with Craig Ferguson as the host, The Late Late Show had set itself apart from
Wait, he does have the look.
The classic late night talk show format for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Foregoing all the scripted questions and forced celebrity anecdotes for real, unplanned conversations.
I get to open a box and take out a mouth organ? Really?
Don't say it like it sounds dirty. Actually, do say it like it sounds.
Every time I think about it, yeah, that's true. And I know, oh my gosh. Well, I was there during summer too.
I love how he credited the guy who clipped the show as Riz King Shorts. Shout out to the guy who clipped the like, what?
So it goes on all night long. No.
Which helped the audience relate to the celebrities they were seeing on a more personal level. But with James Corden, even though he came off as quite humble and grateful,
it really isn't lost on me what a privilege it is to be given a show like this, and I will really do my best not to let any of you down. Truly. I promise it'll be fine, I promise.
the audience was hesitant that he'd be able to replace Ferguson's success. However, Corden had an advantage over Ferguson that no one realized. He knew how the newer generation consumed content. While TV ratings were still important, he realized that the real money was in creating viral moments that could be shared online the next day.
But I still do think the primary audience of this kind of stuff is the older generation. You know, I don't believe that it's mostly young people that are talking about James Corden. You know, I mean, I'm a young person and I hear what we're talking about. We're not talking about James Corden, okay? Maybe he gets brought up. I mean, I don't know how and when and where and why, but maybe he does. I'm not going to sit here and act like his name isn't a name that can be brought up. But let's face some facts here. This is, again, we're talking about another sort of Ellen type of person, and the chance that Ellen gets brought up in like a Generation Z conversation at all is like only to compare somebody's appearance to Ellen, you know? It's like you look at like an 8-year-old boy who's got the Ellen haircut, and then that 8-year-old boy looks like Ellen. James Corden, I don't think gets brought up in conversations for any reason, you know? Like, respectfully, maybe it's a US thing, but you know, what is he actually, is he funny? Is he actually funny? Maybe he is, I don't know. But the reality is, you know, I don't know what his legacy is.
So instead of focusing on long monologues,
you gotta have a legacy.
Audience that his predecessors had done, Corden with his team created a couple of new segments with the intention of creating those viral moments.
He low-key does have like looks maxing potential. If he, you know, I mean, obviously you sort of, you know, lost some weight, maybe shaved the beard. I think he could be handsome underneath all this.
Which eventually led to the creation of one of the most popular late-night TV segments, Carpool Karaoke, where
Told you, bro. I'm telling you, this shit's cursed.
Corden drove around Los Angeles with his guests singing their songs, while having deep, unfiltered conversations with them in between.
They sent me a lot of Calvin Klein's, like boxes and boxes. I'm not.
So do you just wear them once and just throw them out?
Yeah.
Do you seriously?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, I definitely don't wear them twice.
No.
There's so many.
Are you serious? You wear a pair of underpants once and then you throw it out?
Yeah.
That's the life. I have to
Yo, real shit, I'm gonna be honest, this is not deep, unfiltered conversations. This is the most, like, camera, sanitized, not like completely filtered conversation you can have. This is so filtered. If the camera was off, you would be asking Justin Bieber some shit about like Diddy or something, you know? You'd ask him like, yo, like, can I borrow a mil or something like that? You wouldn't be asking, wait, so you're telling me you've got underwear and like you don't wear them multiple times because you're so rich? That's fucking crazy. I'm gonna ask the same question 20 more fucking times for the camera. All right, listen, like, yeah, Justin Bieber, you're telling me his money? No fucking, Justin Bieber, he has money? Oh my God! Yes, he's goated. I like Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber hate is very forced, okay? Anyone who wants to hate on Justin Bieber in this year, they don't understand the kind of hurdles this guy went over to get where he is today. He's like the original cyberbullying victim. The reason we even know what cyberbullying is because Justin Bieber at age like 10 was being told to like, you know, put a toaster in his bathtub because he made a love song. That's what happened. And honestly, for overcoming that and then releasing like, you know, amazing ass pop songs, and they are amazing, years to come, I think that deserves him a spot in maybe contender for one of the top white boys of all time, you know? And I don't say that lightly. As a contender myself, I don't say that lightly.
Turn mine inside out and wear them again.
Not only did this segment paint Corden as the fun-loving, chill host who could get along with anyone, it also painted these celebrities in a new light, helping the audience see them at a more human level, like when Adele went from singing her own songs,
Hello, can you hear? I'm in California dreaming.
to flawlessly rapping Nicki Minaj's verse on Monster.
Career, it's a mild day. Pink with thick ass, giving whiplash. I'm thick, big, get cash, make them blink fast. Now look at what you just saw. This is what you live for.
Another such segment was Spill Your Guts or Fill Your Guts, where both the guests and Corden had to either answer very personal questions
or fill their guts,
or eat some disgusting food, which once again helped the audience both online.
Wait, did that just say bull penis?
Or eat some disgusting food, which once again.
Yo, you're serving bull penis, my boy. That's not right. That's not something that even at your worst you should be forced to eat. I would try it though, it does sound good.
Again, helped the audience both online and in the studio gain a deeper understanding of their favorite celebrities. These segments were also coupled with a new show format where Corden interviewed several celebrities.
Is that Zorhan Mandami?
Together, so they could play off each other.
I imagine. Here's a good question.
Put together, this ended up making his show a massive success, with it reaching over 10 million on YouTube by 2017, making the CBS executives look like visionaries for going all in on this relatively unknown British comedian, who had now started becoming one of the most popular talk show hosts in the US.
I mean, like, okay, here's the issue with, like, somebody like this. Whenever you meet a celebrity who is being a celebrity for something that makes sense, you know what to talk to them about. Because if they play football, you're like, I like football. If they make music, you're like, I like music. If they make, like, Minecraft videos, you're like, I've got 4 netherite ingots or whatever the clip is, you know? But if it's James Corden, you're gonna talk to him about him talking to somebody, you know? It's like, what was it like meeting Justin Bieber? It's like, brother, you know, when I meet you, I want to ask you a question because you're the cool person, you know? I don't want to have to ask you what Bieber's cock tastes like. That just seems strange, you know?
Corden's digital dominance with his late night show also translated into several other high-profile hosting opportunities. In 2016, he hosted the Tony Awards, giving him a chance to showcase his musical theater talents, while in 2017 and 2018, he hosted the Grammys. Suddenly, Corden had become the US entertainment industry's go-to guy for hosting responsibilities as well. His harmless, non-threatening persona made him the perfect face for the entertainment industry.
Yo, that's actually disrespectful as fuck. If you're James Corden, do you want internet anarchists with 1.5 million subs or whatever saying that you're harmless?
He's the biggest.
Yo, this guy's harmless as fuck. He's a harmless guy. He's not threatening. He could be threatening if he truly wanted to be. If he wanted to throw up some fisticuffs and, you know, whatever, he probably could. Don't honestly, James, I wouldn't take this if I were you. I would prove to him that you're a force to be reckoned with. Let's throw on some angel some devil horns there.
Events. However, just when Corden was starting to cement his place as the de facto host of Hollywood, he started slipping up in a major way. Starting from a seemingly harmless spill your guts or feel your guts segment with fellow talk show host Jimmy Kimmel that turned embarrassing. It was Kimmel's turn to ask Corden a personal question, and it ended up being a pretty easy one.
Name 2 of the cameramen in this room.
But to his embarrassment, Corden didn't know the answer. He tried to stall for time by laughing, but ultimately couldn't come up with anything except for an excuse that no one bought.
It's a different crew tonight, actually.
Now, the live audience
Yikes.
may have been laughing this off, but Corden's inability to name 2 of the staff members he works with almost every day
that's
rubbed
not
plenty
good.
of people the wrong way,
That isn't good.
with several people leaving comments on YouTube like, the fact that James Corden couldn't name 2 of his camera operators speaks volumes about him, and what an absolute power move by the segment producer to approve that question. Imagine having your own crew work against you behind the scenes and expose you as a terrible person. The next dent in Corden's harmless guy persona took place in October.
Terrible person? I don't know, terrible person. I mean, he's a terrible person because he doesn't know what 2 of his cameramen or whatever. I don't know if it makes him a terrible person. I think if you like shoot maybe like a child in the head, you're a terrible person, you know? Maybe he was, you know, maybe it's not good, but we're getting a little too okay with saying people are terrible people because of sort of minor things like that. Now, I do think he should know who he works with, and it's not good. It's shitty, but it's, you know, I don't know.
2017.
Whoa! I know this guy.
When the allegations against Harvey Weinstein were at their peak, Corden, as a part of his monologue as the host for the Amfar Gala, decided to make light of the situation.
He is so fucking ugly.
By
this Harvey Weinstein guy, Jesus,
making an incredibly inappropriate joke that wasn't received well.
Right here in LA, it's so beautiful. Harvey Weinstein has already asked tonight up to his hotel to give him a massage.
By now, the gap between Corden's on-camera and real-life persona was getting bigger and bigger. However, he would only go on to make things worse for himself by hosting one of the most disastrous Ask Me Anythings in Reddit history, where 2 comments in particular highlighted exactly why people were starting to turn on him. Starting with a comment that read, "Hey James, you won't remember me, but me and my friends sat at a table next to you and Harry Styles plus some others in Manchurian Legends in London's Chinatown about 6 years ago. We didn't bother you, but you were a massively entitled who yelled and treated the waitstaff like shit. And when one of my party politely suggested you calm down, you got really aggressive and threatening. So my question is this, why did Harry seem so cool while you were a massive throbbing bellend?" Followed up by another comment stating, "Massive in person. I saw a League of Their Own filming live, threw multiple tantrums over minor things at the production staff, with him being incredibly rude to them, which made the other regulars seem very awkward like it was usual. Between each take, the other celebs would be chatting amongst themselves, bantering about. James was glued to his phone. At the end of filming, people got up to get a picture with James, and he massively kicked off shouting at people to go away and to go back to their seats. And the few he did let have pictures with, he was moody as. Seeing him like that made me realize everything you see of his on TV is a complete persona."
Wow.
Even most of the other comments that didn't include an anecdote about his behavior were still loaded with insulting questions, such as, "Why are you, James, such a deeply unpleasant person? Did your parents raise you that way? And ever thought about coming back to the UK? And if so, what can we do to stop you?" In the end, Corden only answered 5 questions before walking away and closing the thread. But the damage was already done. Plus,
you don't do an AMA if you're James Corden. That's not good.
It didn't help that all his roles in following movies were both critical and box office failures.
Yes.
Starting with his role as lead in the movie Cats that
What the fuck is on my screen?
Came out in 2019.
Not a Bustopher Jones. I'm not skin and bones. In fact, I'm remarkably fat.
Which was so universally hated that it received both a 2.8 out of 10 on IMDb and a 19% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, with people specifically pointing out Corden's performance as unbearable, leading to even Ricky Gervais making fun of it in his 2019 Golden Globes monologue.
The world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that.
However, Corden still had a chance here to regain some of his lost popularity by trying to defend the efforts the cast and crew put into the movie. But not only did he not do that, when asked about the movie on The Late Late Show, he replied,
I don't know, I haven't seen it, so I've not watched the film.
By this point, Corden's reputation as a host and especially as a movie star.
What we're not going to do is deny obvious lies. That's incorrect. What we're not going to do is deny obvious truths. We all know that you sat back and watched that movie. I don't believe it. I don't think that anybody who makes movies and stars in them truly doesn't watch them. I don't think anybody who says that is telling the truth. I think everybody watches the movies they're in, and if they're bad, then they'll come up with some bollocks like this.
Had gone down the drain, evident from the petition created on November 5th, 2021 to keep James Corden out of the production of Wicked the movie, which racked up over 100,000 signatures. His presence in the Friends reunion episode in 2021 wasn't received well either, especially since he had no prior link to the show. But perhaps the most damaging incident for his reputation occurred in November of 2022, when Corden was banned from a popular New York restaurant named Balthazar. According to an Instagram post the restaurant's owner, Keith McNally, made in October 2022, Corden had apparently been extremely nasty towards the manager after allegedly finding a hair in his
Of course it's on a fucking restaurant.
food. He demanded that the manager bring him and his party another round of drinks and make all the drinks they've ordered so far on the house. Otherwise, he would leave a negative Yelp review of the restaurant.
So he apparently got a hair in his food. Is this true, though? This seems bullshit. This seems like he put a hair in there and then wanted the free drinks.
Later on, he also became furious with the waits.
This is what I think happens. James Corden gets a taste of money, starts, treating all his friends well, starts getting them all free shit, realizes that it's costing him more than he thinks, eventually realizes that he can't not now be the guy who gives free drinks because he has decided that that's who he's going to be. And so he has to come up with these little schemes in order to get the drinks for free. And this it probably worked a lot, but now it's, biting him in the ass, and it's causing him to be seen as a Hitlerian sort of fat fuck.
Staff after they made a mistake with his wife's omelet, allegedly yelling like crazy at the waiter, telling
Wait, hold on a second. So his wife got a fucking omelet for dinner? So either his wife got an omelet for dinner, or they're having literal rounds of drinks for breakfast. Yo, this guy's a beast!
Them they can't do their job, and that maybe he should go in the kitchen and cook the omelet. As this post started gaining traction, Corden immediately apologized.
As her meal
Brother, he's hangry, okay? Cut the guy some slack. Oh no, it is breakfast. Wow.
came wrong to the table the third time, in the heat of the moment, I made a sarcastic, rude comment, right, about cooking it myself, and it is a comment I deeply regret.
And got himself unbanned. However, this did little to repair the damage to his reputation, as this incident once again highlighted Corden's complete lack of respect towards anyone who couldn't advance his career. To make things worse, Corden would even later go on to say that he didn't do anything wrong on any level, shrugging off any
I think it just took me a minute to realize. Let me just make sure I'm seeing this correctly. Hold on.
Yelling in the kitchen, apologized.
As her meal,
he is dating what appears to be a bad bitch. So, what the fuck, ref, do something.
Came wrong to the table the third time.
How is he scoring that? I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand how this is happening. I don't understand this. I have good-looking friends who can't even get like 4s or 5s at the bar. And you've got this guy, this literal punk. If he wasn't rich and famous, this guy would be an incel. He's getting gorgeous women. Honestly, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what? I don't even mind this.
That he didn't do anything wrong on any level, shrugging off any responsibility for his actions once again. Following the Balthazar incident, more stories from Corden's past started resurfacing, resulting in the hate towards him reaching nuclear levels. And by 2023, it was hitting where it hurt the most, his wallet. The viewership of The Late Late Show was at an all-time low, costing CBS millions of dollars.
Ooh.
Still, a majority of its viewers thought it would survive.
Really?
That was until one of its most popular segments, Carpool Karaoke, was outed as fake. When a post started making the
Oh, shocker.
rounds on Twitter,
It's not authentic.
containing
All the questions are screened.
footage of James Corden's segment with Justin Bieber, revealing to everyone that Corden's car was being pulled along by a trailer at the front, meaning he wasn't driving the vehicle himself. Now, in hindsight, that doesn't seem like a big
That's
deal,
actually hilarious.
especially considering Corden's humorous response to the video.
I swear to you, 95% of the time, I really am endangering the lives of the world's biggest pop stars. Now look, I'm going to be completely transparent with you right now. Here is a list of every carpool karaoke where I've used a tow, and this is a list of every one where I was driving the car, okay?
However, for some, it ruined the authenticity of the segment,
Maybe.
leading to public outrage. And while this did negatively impact James Corden's reputation, who deserved it at this point, it unfortunately also had a serious impact on the Late Late Show itself, something it was never able to recover from. By January 2023, the weekly average viewers of the show had dropped from 915,000 viewers to just 671,000 viewers, largely because of James.
But it looks like it went back up again a little bit.
Corden's declining career and image.
Man, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, right, this guy is not gonna have the same staying power as a lot of the other late night show hosts, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he's just so replaceable. I mean, he's like, he's agreeable, I guess, but he's harmless. You can find anybody to just sit there and just be harmless and agree with everything and be a little bit funny, but the jokes are written by somebody else who doesn't get any credit. I could do that. You could do that. Literally anybody could do that, right? So at the end of the day, while I'm sure he had a good run, this is certainly not meant to last. I don't think when he went into it, I think he would have been a fucking idiot to think this would last more than 5 years, 6 years. Did it last more than 5 years, 6 years? Am I the idiot? Whatever. It's obvious that this wasn't going to last forever, and it's certainly not going to be anywhere close to the run of Jimmy Fallon or somebody like that for sure. And that's just fine. I mean, it's, everyone has different lengths of their career.
The result, on April 28th, 2023, exactly 8 years after he became the host
8 years. Fuck.
Of the show, Corden decided to step away. Now, he claimed that it was to spend more time with his family back in the UK.
When Max, who's my eldest son, when he finishes 6th grade, that is a real moment for us where we knew and we always felt, and I've always said, that to move 14, 15, 16-year-olds around, even if we went coast to coast or internationally, felt unfair.
But almost no one believed this excuse. Most importantly...
Yeah, well, it's because, you're not getting sort of the viewership or the ratings that you would need to continue.
Corden had done so much...
I mean, listen, if you don't think this guy would sacrifice every high school graduation for his kids for, more money, you're out of your mind.
Damage to the show, the network didn't even want to think about bringing in a new host, and took it off air for good. Looking back at Corden's career, the comparisons with Ellen DeGeneres practically create themselves. Both rose to the top through their comedic talents, individuals who were grateful for all the fame they'd achieved, until they were eventually exposed as entitled, obnoxious bullies who didn't care for anyone they deemed to be beneath them. James, however, also used his skills as a theatre performer to mask his real personality even better. Even now, after returning to the UK, James has continued his theatre career, and even reprised his role as Smithy in the Christmas 2024 Gavin and Stacey special episode. However, that won't undo the damage that he's already done to his reputation, just like Six and Roses, who lost everything.
Not good, James. I wish you the best, but you gotta stop doing whatever the hell that was. Stop being mean to people who don't make your wife's omelets, like that. And maybe you don't have 4 rounds of drinks with breakfast if it's gonna make you crash out like that.